Now that we have our wiki spaces built, let's look at the next thing that we're going to put into our wiki space. Everything we do from here on out will be creating something in a Web 2.0 site somewhere else, and then taking what is called the embed code and placing that into our wiki. Following a very simple series of steps, we can take things that normally you would have to go www.http://twitter.com to get to. What you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to create things and put them directly into the wiki. Not only can you create things and put them directly into the wiki, others can participate with the things that you put into your wiki. So the first one we're going to do is called a Flipgrid. Now let me give you a sense of what a Flipgrid kind of looks like, because someone's already used it in our class. Thank you very much to Donna, I believe it is. And as you can see, this is a Flipgrid. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to have students, members of your class, members of your PLC, to add to your PLN a little video about themselves. You can set these up. I made ours for 90 seconds. That's what the free one will allow you to do. And so everyone who's in our class will have a little video right here telling us a little bit about themselves and who they are. These are extremely easy to set up, and I'm going to show you how. You go to this site, flipgrid.com, and you are going to be signing up for a free account. Make sure you do that one. Now I've already done it, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. And once I've logged in, I've already created a grid, and that grid is called EDAP 689. You will create a grid that'll be called your PLN, however you want to name it. You could just be your name, PLN. And then once I've done that, I can make within that as many of these topics that I want. Now, realize that in the free version, it only allows you to make just the one grid, like I've done down here. So, what you can do if you want to take this back and start over is you can just blow this grid off and then create a new one. And then you could put that in to wherever you want it to go. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and look. So once I've created the grid, I'll be able to click on it. And now I can add topics. How many topics can I add? As many as you want. So as you can see, under this one grid title called EDAP 689, I can go ahead and make multiple topics. So if I'm careful about what I name my grid, then I can apply different topics that I could put just about anywhere that is web enabled. What does that mean? Well, your wiki space is web enabled. If you have a Google Classroom, it is web enabled. If you have a Schoology classroom, it is web enabled. If you're working on a Blackboard space, it is web enabled. The Blackboard space is a little trickier to use than the others, and if you are going to use it in a Blackboard space, yell at me. I'll explain to you how to do it. I'm not going to show you how to do that because there's not many people who run Blackboard spaces in elementary, middle, and high schools. So here we are. I've created a grid, a topic, and I've called it biography. Now all I'm going to do is, if I want to, I can go in and look at what I've created, just to give you an idea. See, there's Donna's. She's the only person who's dropped in and put something in, and that's okay, because class doesn't start till the 13th. And over here, though, it says share. Well, that's not, we don't want to share her response. We want to share our topic. Excuse me. So I'm going to go up here to share topic. Now, I can go ahead and just put in a link, but what we want is even cooler. So we're going to go here to where it says embed, and I'm going to now click and highlight this right here. and I can copy this and put it anywhere I want to. But you remember when we set up our wiki page, you remember what we had you do? You set it up so it was a secure website. So I'm going to go ahead and select all, and I'm going to copy it. I'm now going to go to that new wiki space that I created, and I'm going to call this first page that I have created Who I Am, because that's our first module. I might want to put some information here, in other words, directions for people to do. But you can also do that within the topic, as you'll see here in just a second. So I'll go over here, make sure the edit button is on, so the page, I can work with it. I'm going to click on the widget, which looks like a little television set. Other HTML. I'm now going to paste that code that I just got, and I'm going to save it. Now, as you can see, I've got a gray box sitting there. That tells me that whatever I just put in here is there. But when I save it again, it's going to appear. And there we are. And as you can see, this is the one that I use for our class. But you see, you can go ahead. Here's where I wrote out what to do. It tells me what to do. And then as you can see, here's the button for me to click that people then can add into my Flipgrid. It's just that simple. Now, when we're looking at it, we're kind of noticing that it's kind of squished. How do we fix that? Well, it's easy. You go back up to your edit button, double click on your gray box, and you'll notice that it says width is 600 and height is 800. Well, if I add, let's say 200 to the 600, so now that I basically have the same width and height, let's save that. Let's save it again. And as you see, I've now moved it over onto my page. Now, I can't give you any kind of, for certain, most web pages are 1,000 pixels wide. That's what this 800 represents. And so we could go back in here. We'll go to Edit, Other HTML, come back down to our code. Let's try 900 and see what we get. Understand, this is kind of hit or miss. And much better. So now I have even more room. And of course, what's going to happen as people come in and put their stories in, it'll stack them up. And that's all there is to Flipgrid. I think one of the things that you're going to discover in this class is everything we do in this class is very, very straightforward, very simple. You, as the owner of your wiki, get to decide how these various pieces that we're going to put in, how they look, and how they function. And that is our first piece that we have made for our wiki.